Team USA's Avengers are living up to the billing, with a sweep in their showcase exhibitions as they warm up for the Paris Games. They've demonstrated why America is still the king of basketball, even with the upsurge of international talent. Even though the US has won the last 4 Summer Olympics in men's basketball, the giant looked wobbly. The red, white, and blue has set a standard of complete dominance, so anything meager is seen as an undersell. The 2020 roster, who won gold by the way, are treated as a mild letdown, forgetful at most. And with the United States disgracefully failing to even finish third in the 2023 FIBA World Cup, it felt like America's Iron Curtain had unfurled. It seemed as if the end was near for Team USA's supremacy in men's basketball. But in typical American fashion, the US's premier countrymen became absurdly patriotic when disrespected. An American track star says world champions of what? And the NBA landscape descends upon him to refute his inflammatory claim, and this ultimately roused the troops, leading to the formation of Team Avengers, the Supreme Team, whatever you want to call it. We got LeBron James and Stephen Curry on the same team. Olympic gold is already predestined for the USA. And don't be mistaken, the rest of the world isn't bowing down. They're gonna put up a fight. These last 2 games could have went either way, and if it wasn't for some late game heroics courtesy of LeBron James, all this allure and grandeur surrounding this team would have been retracted. But beyond these scares, Team USA has handled their business. This roster is so deep that Tyrese Halliburton, who just concluded a conference finals run and made the All-NBA third team, is seeing limited time and running cardio when he's on the floor. How can the best player be a 39-year-old man, someone who's going to be playing professional basketball with his son next season? The old guard has not passed the horizon, and they paired this ageless wonder with a sniper in human form, which is a formula for destruction, and the Slim Reaper hasn't even suited up yet. The NBA's big 3 have all been assembled. Then you bring in Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra, 2 of the greatest coaches ever, and give them 3 of the greatest players ever. Guys who are arguably 3 out of the top 10 best players of all time. You got the greatest shooter of all time, the greatest scorer of all time, and the greatest player of all time. One word to describe this roster: legendary. LeBron James can still rumble like a freight train despite being ancient by NBA standards. At his age, pros, even the great ones, are basking in the sun on a golf course somewhere, or they're in front of an ESPN teleprompter uttering complete nonsense. But the king is entering year 22, which would tie the record for NBA seasons played, and by no means is this a retirement tour. Nor is his departure from the game recommended, because the man is still an animal on the court. This yield with his mileage is unprecedented. 26, 8, and 7 a night for 71 nights while shooting 50 from the field and 40 from behind the arc. And of all those stats, the most extraordinary is the 71 games played. There's guys in the league who aren't even 24 and they can't sustain a full season of grown man basketball. Yet here we have this old timer putting these youngsters to shame. And for his career, which has spanned 2 full decades, 4 US presidents, and over 1,000 new Wendy's locations, James has averaged 71 games per season. A genetic anomaly by all accounts. To play professional sports in any capacity at his age is already an impressive accomplishment, but to do so and remain at the top of your game in a sport that is as physically demanding as basketball is, he's the only one to do so. His closest comparison would be Tom Brady, but quarterback and small forward are 2 very different positions, physically speaking. And either way, that's great company to keep. Brady and James have pretty similar regimens and disciplines, as both men have prioritized their physical and mental fortitude to the highest degree. I mean, LBJ's diet is so meticulously crafted it leaves no room for lethargy. His body is the result of millions and millions of dollars of nutrition and care. And in the words of the late great Eddie Guerrero, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. I for one don't believe he is, but if you're in the camp that believes that the Lakers forward is an avid user of some Capri Sun, well then that confirms even more that the man will do anything it takes to get a leg up. LeBron James's prioritization of his health is the reason his body can sustain playing at such a high level. He's got a photogenic memory that allows him to remember a sequence from a 2006 preseason game, and with 1,000 lifetimes of basketball played, he's pretty much experienced every scenario imaginable. His brain is essentially an infinite basketball database. But LeBron James isn't the only one of his kind on Team USA. There's a seasoned veteran whose incredible volume at 36 years old is a testament to his longevity. Of course, we're referring to the Bay Area legend Steph Curry. Curry has captivated us for 15 years as we watched him pave his legacy as the greatest marksman the game's ever seen. He's arguably the most influential basketball player of all time, certainly for this century, and somehow the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics is his first time representing the United States. I mean, how can that be? Well, if you're shouting corruption, you're probably Jaylen Brown or Gilbert Arenas. There have been accusations directed towards Nike that they have a part to play in Team USA's roster formation, specifically picking their guys. And it makes sense when you think about it. Why would you select Curry when he's the face of Under Armour, after all? But let's be real, you can get away with rejecting Jaylen Brown or Gilbert Arenas in the past, despite them being superstars, because this is a team of superstars. But Stephen Curry is a level above superstar. If Stephen Curry wants to play for Team USA, he's going to play for Team USA. And the most likely reason he hasn't until now is simply unfortunate timing. 2016 was right after 3-1, and I don't think he was in the right mental space to play in the Olympics. And in 2020, he was recovering from a hand injury. Curry has been the international face of basketball for the modern era. His abilities have encapsulated the world quite like no one before him ever. Sure, MJ, Bron, Kobe, they were global superstars, but Curry's reach across the world is on another echelon, and it's precisely because he is so contrasting from the aforementioned. Stephen Curry isn't stacked in the talent department. He's an average-sized point guard with weak athleticism and poor durability. The man has reached his elite status through hard work. He's the NBA's everyman, inspiring kids across the world that the game will reward you if you put in your hours. He doesn't need to jump to the ceiling or reach across the court or run through defenders. He just gotta shoot.
Gets the ball, puts up a three-pointer. Bang!
The man's process is that of a machine, so you can watch him practice and the ball might not touch the rim for 45 minutes. The amount of repetitions he's put in every single day has made him a black hole. Even amongst the best players on the planet, no one attracts the gravity that Curry does when he's on the court. And that's why everyone's favorite player watches Stephen Curry in awe any chance they can. When he's playing alongside you, he's the ultimate bailout. When you're versing him, he's the ultimate ex machina. And the Warriors head man is suiting up for his country, and he's ready to claim the only hardware that isn't in his decorated trophy cabinet. And the internet broke when his addition was announced. Stephen Curry playing with the shortened arc sounds game-breaking, and this was the perfect time to do so as LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, Jrue Holiday, etc. had all declared their admission to play on the team. Kevin Durant is 35 years old and he's still hooping. He's still unquestionably a top 10 player in the world. Durant's game has been refined to the 99.99 percentile, and the art of scoring is his mastery. Kevin Durant approaches the game with a zen-like mindset, viewing it almost as a spiritual practice. And for Durant, it could be such, as his sole focus in life is basketball. No wife, no kids, no lineup, shooting jumpers in a club. The game is in his veins. The word special is loosely tossed around these days. I mean, folks put exaggerated labels on anything. There was a time when people thought Tobias Harris was a future All-Star. And I'll be honest, I thought so too. But boy, were we all mistaken. So if someone is to be called special, they gotta be different. And LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Kevin Durant are just that. The three emperors of a concluding generation. As a new light dawns upon the league, the legends of the 2010s give one last hurrah before they sail across the horizon. To not enjoy this team's summer run is foolish because this is a squad we will look back on years from now. And Team USA is an amalgamation of all that the NBA is. The talent spans across 3 generations, from the legendary LeBron James to the contemporary star Jason Tatum, and to the next wave in Cooper Flag on the select team. Team USA's Avengers initiative has been assembled. We've waited so long to witness Stephen Curry reach the stage, and he's gonna rain down fire now that he's arrived. 2020's captain Kevin Durant is patiently waiting until he can step on the court and get a bucket at any given moment. And LeBron James is the general, Captain America, and he's ready to lead the charge when called upon, ready to lead the United States to glory. The greatest shooter, the greatest scorer, and the greatest player, all wearing the same jersey. We will never see this again. Thanks for watching.